Donald Trump, Pipsqueak, Mike Johnson, none of them give a shit about the victims in the Epstein case. And Kank sitting in the Oval Office, because of course he likes to grandstand in there every evening. And they say that people that have dementia have what's called sundowners. So now we have sundowner hour in the Oval every night with this nut. And here he is answering a question about Ghislaine Maxwell, who is a convicted sex trafficker. Play the clip.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President's term today, Mr. President.
Say it.
The Supreme Court is back, and they rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance of getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're...
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I say, well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it.
All right, I've heard about it. Here's the thing. First and foremost, the reason he hasn't heard about this pump is they don't talk about it on Fox. That's why he hasn't heard her name in a long time. Because Jesse Waters and all of the other pedophile protectors at Fox News don't talk about this. That's why he hasn't heard about it. And secondly, for him to say he's going to speak to the DOJ, there's a world where Republicans freaked out because Bill Clinton spoke to Attorney General on a tarmac. I mean, if you bring it up now, they'll still freak out about it. They still think there's some conspiracy theory. So the enmeshing of all of these government agencies that are supposed to be independent is just brazen. Nobody even checked him there in the press conference. Nobody said, why would you talk to the DOJ about that? Aren't they supposed to be independent?
Well, he is the DOJ, or he could just post on Live Social what he wants to do, and they'll do it. A couple things here. Number one, I think he's going like he can't hear. He's like, who are you talking about? He keeps saying, I don't know. How many times during this Trump 2.0 he says, I don't know. So that leads me to believe either he's lying, which is easy for me to believe, but that they're not telling him certain things. And then I just want to add to this, the answer to, are you going to pardon a convicted sex trafficker? It's always no. That answer is always no when you're president of the United States. And then later in that clip, he throws in Puff Daddy, just grazie. I mean, I'm just like, this is a clown car of stupid, but I'm with you. Why would you consider pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell? She is a convicted sex trafficker, but
because he wants her to keep her mouth shut. That's why.
Absolutely.
He will pardon her because he wants to show in his authoritarian flex, I get to do what I want, and all of the people surrounding me get to do what they want. And then I just wanted to read to you all what's going on with MAGA politicians right now. This came across my Twitter feed, and she's dead serious about this. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets the following. Bad Bunny says America has 4 months to learn Spanish before his perverse, unwanted performance at the Super Bowl halftime. It would be a good time to pass my bill to make English the official language of America. And the NFL needs to stop having demonic sexual performances during its halftime shows. Can you imagine living in a world, in a free country, where you are triggered by a world-renowned superstar named Bad Bunny, and you're triggered by the Spanish language? It's so asinine, the culture wars that MAGA just clings on to. Nothing about this is important. Nothing about this is tweetable. We live in a multicultural country. It's always going to be a multicultural country. And if these MAGA politicians continue to oppress large portions of the population and demean them, this will all backfire eventually, because you have people that live out in suburbia, or they live out in rural America, that are all about all this all white shit. But you get into a city and you see multiculturalism, you embrace multiculturalism. It actually makes your life have more flavor. So to all of the MAGA meltdown, snowflake, abject pussies that are upset about Bad Bunny, I guess you just go from, I was pissed about Cracker Barrel, and now we're going to move the goalposts, and now I'm mad about Bad Bunny. But these are the same people that were upset about The Little Mermaid. These are the same people that think there's a war on Christmas. These are titty babies. These are very unserious people.
I forgot about the war on Christmas. I mean, we're getting ready to come back to it. But here's the thing. These people in MAGA are so fucking racist, and they're not even hiding it. It's so offensive and appalling that in 2025, this is what's considered political fodder. It's disgusting.
All right, next up, we have Stephen Miller, you guys, and the propaganda and the lies coming out of this guy could only be rivaled by Joseph Goebbels of Nazi Germany. And it is utterly insane. Just play the clip.
ICE officers have to street battle against Antifa, hand-to-hand combat every night to come and go from their building.
Okay, that is a complete lie. First of all, Antifa is not a real thing. Like, we are Antifa. We are anti-fascist. All of the people that fought in World War II, all of those military people in the Allied forces, they were Antifa. The majority of Americans are Antifa. They have to create an enemy, and they tried with drag queens. They moved the goalpost to trans kids. They've always had black and brown people, and now they're going after Antifa, which is a made up bullshit thing, because every American that likes freedom and believes in the Constitution is Antifa. We are all Antifa. Antifa is shortened for anti-fascist, you dipshits. There's no hand-to-hand combat happening in Portland, Oregon. 12,000 people just showed up there for a marathon in the city streets. This is lies. This is total propaganda. Stephen Miller is a Jewish Nazi psychopath. Full stop. And Trump has him running the DOJ, ICE, and any other thing that he can run, because all Kanks cares about is his ballroom, getting his face on buildings, getting his face on money, and watching Fox News. That's the list. That's how intellectually lazy and breathtakingly incompetent this 95-year-old dementia-ridden man is, with cankles swollen, bruises on his hands. Utter idiot.
He's a complete idiot. And they've designated Antifa a terrorist organization. And they're saying we're investigating all the people behind it and all the money. And I'm like, it's not real. Imagine being the attorney general or in charge of the DOJ, and you've designated a terrorist organization that does not exist. It blows my mind.
Okay. And then everybody knows that among all of the groups, which Kanks is the least popular, would be Black women. I mean, over 90% showed up to vote, voted for Kamala Harris. This is the backbone of the Democratic Party. And somebody told him at some point that Black women are wearing MAGA hats, or showed him a picture, and he can't shut the fuck up about it. Here he is in his Sundowner with Grandma Oval Office hour last night talking about Black women in Chicago, lying through his teeth.
We're there. And the people of Chicago. So you have Black women with MAGA hats on in Chicago, all over the place. They want the guard to come in, or they don't care who comes in. They just want to be safe.
Okay, that is a complete lie. We've been to Chicago. Pumps and I spent a week there last summer. I didn't see one MAGA hat. Black women don't wear MAGA hats because his staff has to deal with his fragile ego. They probably found an image somewhere, because of course there's always one skunk at the garden party. I'm sure there's some rogue Black woman that, is shilling for Trump, and his staff has to make him feel good about what a piece of shit he is. So they showed him a picture of a Black woman in a hat. And this is like the third time he's brought it up. And I just want to go on the permanent record and tell you, MAGA, Black women cannot fucking stand your racist ass. They cannot stand you guys. And the people who are suffering the most under this administration, where the highest job loss numbers are Black women. Black women get dicked over nonstop by politicians. And for him to say that Black women in MAGA hats are begging for him to send the Gestapo into Chicago is really rich, divorced from reality, and another example of this Sundowner dementia series that I guess we're going to have every evening from the Oval Office.
When I heard him say that, I thought, did he believe that? Has somebody told him that? Is it an AI image? The fact that he keeps saying it, he believes it. He believes that people in Chicago that are Black women are wearing MAGA hats saying, please send the guard. It's fucking crazy. That right there is 25th Amendment worry.
Well, speaking of 25th Amendment, here we go right here. Here is a statement that shows the following. He either has full-blown dementia, he doesn't understand economic policy, and he doesn't understand foreign policy, or obviously all of the above. Play the clip.
Because, I've ended 7 wars, at least half of them was because of my ability at trade and because of tariffs. If I didn't have tariffs to throw around a little bit, you would have at least 4 wars raging right now with thousands of people a day being killed that aren't happening. We settled. We settled 7. We're getting close to settling 8. That would be a big one.
Okay. This is all lies. This is a jet stream of bullshit. This is utter insanity. This man campaigned day one. I'm going to call Putin. That's going to be over with. Day one. I'm going to call Benjamin Netanyahu. That's going to be over with. Guess what has happened since then? Putin and Netanyahu have put a shock collar on that fat ass motherfucker, and they have walked him all over the international stage. And when he acts out, they just shock him a little bit. And he acts out again, and they just shock him a little bit. This guy doesn't know come here from Sikkim. He is sitting here talking about tariffs that he's throwing around that are preventing 4 major wars. He is an international laughingstock. He is a complete embarrassment. We used to be a serious country, and now we have this racist, demented dipshit hosting Dementia Hour every evening in the Oval Office on the global stage. And I just, the secondhand embarrassment that I feel overwhelms me.
Well, you can't shame the shameless. I don't know if he's capable of being embarrassed, but we saw clips of world leaders laughing at him specifically about saying these wars. If I were his aide, I would say, stop talking about the wars. It is not a good look for you. But either they believe it or nobody can tell him anything he doesn't want to hear.
What you don't get here is nobody can tell him what he wants to hear. When we spoke to Ruth Ben-Ghiat, the professor, the expert on authoritarians, nobody is allowed to rise up and look like they know more than the toxic masculine person at the top of the hierarchy. So if somebody were to say, hey, I think you need to shift gears here, they're going to get punished noticeably in front of all of the others. That's why you have the 3-hour circle jerks where everybody is out jockeying each other to see who can heap the most praise on him. Nobody's advising him. Nobody is telling him anything other than statements that will feed his broken, frail, fragile, titty baby ego. And then they try to project, look at how masculine we are. Look at what tough guys we are. When all I see, all of this right here, is a giant titty baby whining, complaining, lying, compulsively lying, and propagandizing the public. Okay, Pumps, tell them about our book.
Okay, so we have our book. It is the It Book of the Fall. Please pick it up. It's a great way to support us, and it's a really fun read.
All right, like and subscribe. We'll be back later with more news because there's a lot going on with fucking Kanks.